Alright, good evening everyone, thank you for coming. For those of you who don't know, my name is Danae Daellenbach and I'm a second year Master of Public Administration student. In addition to that, the past 2 years I've worked as a graduate assistant athletic trainer, hired through the Lafene Health Center. The majority of my work out of the rec facility on campus. So introducing my project, I did measurement, performance, and analysis of the Lafene Health Center, sports medicine, and rehabilitation departments. Quick presentation overview. So quickly I'll go over the organization itself, then I'll get into the scope of work, the data collection, and analysis of that data, summary, and then recommendations as well as references, and then we'll hold questions till the end. So starting off, the Lafene Health Center is the designated health center for students on K-State campus. If you don't know where it is, it's located West Street campus on Sunset Avenue. And their main mission is to provide high quality, easily accessible, affordable patient care to students in the Kansas State community. In addition to that, they want to serve as an advocate for education and the promotion of health and wellness. So more specifically, there are 11 departments in Lafene, but I took a look at 2 of them. So the sports medicine department as well as the rehabilitation department. These 2 work collaboratively to provide services to students, mainly injuries and other conditions related to sports and orthopedics. They both do evaluations, give assessments for injuries, and then they work to come up with a treatment plan. Rehabilitation focuses more on physical therapy, whereas sports medicine does a lot of the diagnostic testing. So ultimately, I wanted to answer this question. So how did Lafene Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation fulfill their mission through performance measurement, inpatient health outcomes, and management capacity during the 2016 fall semester? A lot of text on this slide, but if you listen to me, I'll kind of explain it. So I looked through about 1,600 different appointments over the course of the fall semester. Dates are on there. I did not code any patients that were repeat patients, and I did not code things that were non-musculoskeletal. So those conditions might have included like skin diseases or things like that. Wasn't really concerned with those because they wouldn't be seen in those clinics. So that was about 419 patients. Because I work through Lafene Health Center, I take their privacy training, so I was able to access the electronic medical record and code each patient. So I coded based on 2 different categories. There were patient health and management capacity, and more specifically in each of those categories, I looked at acute versus chronic injury onset, what specific body part was affected, surgical versus non-surgical evaluations, and then under management capacity, looked at the initial appointment contact, so were they seen by either a sports med or rehab, and if there was a referral, which type of referral there was. So just an example for you, obviously I'll change the name so you guys protect your patient identity, but so this is how I went about coding each patient. So Danae, a senior student at K-State, was walking in the union, texting and walking down the stairs at the same time, tripped, fell, and hurt her left ankle. She came into the sports medicine clinic complaining of pain in her left ankle. This is the first injury she's had in this ankle. No previous history, rates pain 6 out of 10. X-rays were performed, no fracture. Assessment was a left ankle sprain. Patient was given crutches, given at-home care, and given instructions to follow up within 3 days. Danae is not a very compliant patient, so she never followed up. So going through all these categories, so they were seen by sports med first, obviously gets a 1, the rest of the categories get a 0, so on and so forth. So then an analysis, in figure 1, looking at the acute versus chronic injuries, the majority, overwhelming majority, 75% of injuries were acute onset, 25% were chronic. So chronic injuries, more overuse, poor posture, that sort of thing. And then in terms of looking at the specific body part or region. Looking at figure 2, majority of injuries were to the toes, foot, or ankle, followed by the knee, and then to the finger, twist, and hand. And the last patient health, the one that I looked at was the type of evaluation. So, majority of patients came in, got an assessment that was non-surgical. Just 2% of them were referred on to get surgery elsewhere, and then only 3% were rehab post-surgical. So they had gotten surgery and they came back to Lafene for their rehab through physical therapy. And then looking at management capacity, in figure 4 is the type of initial contact. Majority of patients, 66% of them, were seen in the sports medicine clinic first, and then 30% were seen in the rehabilitation clinic first. And 4% were continuing treatment patients, so 4% either hurt themselves or got an initial eval either in the summer session or the previous spring session. One of the more interesting things I looked at was the referrals. This was a recommendation from the agency themselves in terms of they wanted to know where their patients were coming from. 57% of them were self-referral, so I coded that as a non-referral because they weren't referred by a professional staff member. 20% of them were first seen in, say, gen med department in Lafene, and then referred on to either sports med or rehab. And 17% of them were first seen in sports medicine, and then referred on to get physical therapy in the rehab clinic. Some other key things that I wanted to look at in terms of the patients was how many appointments were they being seen for. So looking at the combined departments, because there were so many repeat patients that I had to code out of the data, they were seen about 4 times over the course of the semester. The number a little bit higher for rehab, a little bit less for sports med. And then kind of going with that were how many patients each professional staff member saw over the course of the semester. So with the 2 combined departments, it was about 83 patients for every 1 professional staff. And professional staff was either a doctor, a nurse, an athletic trainer, or a physical therapist. Number much higher in sports medicine, and then about half that in rehab. Some other things that I wanted to do was do a little bit of external benchmarking. So to compare Lafene sports medicine and rehabilitation centers to an agency that provides similar services to a similar population. So we kind of did a little bit of sunflower showdown. K-State versus KU. So Lafene Health Center and then the Watkins Health Center is the one located in Lawrence. The number I was able to find was main campus enrollment for those semesters. The difference was about 156 students for the fall semester in 2016. So not that big of a difference. But in figure 6, we found that K-State employs 1 other physical therapist than KU does. So it's not all inclusive because the enrollment number doesn't necessarily say what the utilization was at the rehab clinic, but it was the best that I could do. And kind of leading into that were some challenges that I faced, which was definitely a little bit of limited cooperation with the external agency. So ideally, I'd like to have gotten their patient number from that semester versus using the enrollment numbers. And then if time would have allowed, I would have liked to look at a lot more variables. I thought the study would be really interesting to do if we did it longitudinally. So looking at the spring, looking at the fall from different years, and see how things change. And then also see how different variables, so if there was more professional staff or less professional staff in the clinic at a time, what effects it would have. And then so in summary, the majority of the injuries seen were acute in nature and happened to either the ankles or toes. Most people walked into Lafene as a self-referral. And then Referrals from out of house, so doctors or clinics that are not Lafene, made up 5% of patients, and 20% of the referrals were made from a Lafene in-house clinic to either sports med or rehab. Combined, each department sees patients about 4 times over the course of the semester. That number is a little bit higher in rehab, seen about 6 times this semester. And then combined, the staff-to-patient ratio, 1 in every 83 patients per staff for the combined departments, and then rehabilitation was about half that for one staff member for every 42 patients. So with the summary, just going over some recommendations for the agency. Because the majority of the injuries were acute in nature and to the toes, foot, or ankle, maybe we can fulfill part of our mission of providing patient health education by providing education on acute injuries and injuries to either the toe, foot, or ankle, or maybe also the knee. Few of the patients were referred out of Lafene, but maybe we could learn about what those services were that we had to refer out for. So could Lafene provide these services now or maybe in the near future? 1/5 of patients were referred from a department in Lafene to either sports med or rehab. So could we maybe streamline that process and help the students get to sports medicine or rehab sooner rather than later? And ultimately, adapting a performance-oriented culture at Lafene can help inform the decision-making to improve patient outcomes and to also increase management capacity. And as we all know, in the public sector, resources are becoming even more and more limited. So how can we basically show our worth through these different services? And then these are my references. And then I just want to give a quick thank you to Jeff Kreiser for not only bringing me to this university, but for also letting me interfere with his daily life to code all these patients. And then also thank you to Dr. Schaefer for helping bring this project to life. And I'll take any questions you guys have.
Questions are open. I'll let you call on people, just put your hand up and ask. Gotta ask some.
Dr. Frank.
What's acute versus chronic?
Acute injuries are more of like an immediate onset. So in the example where Danae fell down the stairs texting, she hurt herself immediately. And then a chronic would be, you sit at our desk like this all day, my back really hurts. It's an injury that occurs over time.
So chronic would be like my back feels right now.
Yes.
Education for who? I'm sorry, I'm going to keep asking.
Education, in terms of either flyers or media, if you go onto the Lafene website, they do a page on like frequently asked questions. So putting some sort of patient health information on there on how to prevent injuries from happening in the first place.
I'm just curious, do you tell them to not be clumsy or?
Well,
we're talking ankles.
There's also, so in athletic training or in physical therapy, there are programs that are called rehab. So it's rehab prior to an injury happening, using correct form when lifting or exercising, using the right kind of muscles and like strengthening the back so you're not sitting as slouched, that sort of thing.
How would that be delivered?
I think it would best be delivered on the Lafene website. I think Lafene does a really good job of having an easily accessible website. And I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the patients were self-referrals, because they know about the services that are offered there, so they don't need to be referred from elsewhere. They know what services they can go there for.
When you have 1/5 of the students that had been referred over to sports med or rehab, did you find that there was a commonality between them that ended up having that 1/5 referred out because you said one of your recommendations was to find a quicker way to get them there?
Right. I think some of it is because the sports medicine department has so many, like their patient to staff ratio is so much higher. So one of my, also would recommend to hire perhaps another professional in the sports medicine department to kind of alleviate that. So I think some of the patients, they'll call and they won't really explain what their injury is or why they need to be seen. So then they're just referred to gen med instead of going straight to sports medicine. And Lafene has actually, for this spring semester, has actually hired another physician. So that's why it would also be good to do the longitudinal study to see how that extra professional has helped kind of alleviate that.
Jeff, can I put you on the spot? Is this what you thought
This
it would
is,
be, and is it the kind of information you think you
this
use?
is very good information, yeah, actually, the 1/5 that you talked about, that's something that from my perspective, that we were looking at very closely, the 20%, because as an efficient, from an efficiency side of things, we're always, short on number of appointments that we have for the number of providers. So if we can get people going to the right spot immediately, rather than doing a double dip kind of thing, then that saves other appointment slots for other things. So we were very interested in seeing those numbers for that. I also agree with Danae, from the longitudinal side of it, it'd be very interesting to see, as the different providers come through, are we getting these same ratios as the different providers are coming through? I think these ratios right now look great. I would be really curious to see as there's other ones through, are these ratios the same?
Anything else? Dr. Craig?
We still have time, just,
Thanks.
why is the ratio so much higher for one than the other? What was it higher for, sports medicine?
Yes, it's higher for, I think it was about 137 patients for every one professional in sports med. And I think that is because a lot of the evaluations that are done need to go through sports medicine first because of their diagnostic capabilities on that side. They can do diagnostic ultrasound, which is in a service that the rehab side of things can do. So they're mainly referred there, and then from sports medicine, we'll either get referred elsewhere or get referred to the rehabilitation side of things.
Just one more question. You talked about a general medicine department?
Yes.
Is that where students would typically come? I mean, I wouldn't know to go to.
Yeah, there's 11 different departments. There's allergy, women's health, laboratory, x-ray, that sort of thing. And one of the big ones is gen med. So if someone calls and the person on the other line is not really educated or knows where they should go first, we'll probably just send them to gen med first.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else?
Very nice.